Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Taurus, June 6, 2022. Today's moon stirs your need to be free and spend time with people who accept you without strings, and doing some connecting or reaching out to others can be rejuvenating now. You're in a forward-looking, hopeful frame of mind, focusing on plans and goals related to personal fulfillment and satisfaction. This positive emotional orientation is reinforced by a Sun-Mars transit that encourages you to express yourself or explore new and interesting topics. At the same time, today and tomorrow are particularly powerful for hard work and attention or commitment to work and health pursuits. Your dedication to your chores, work, and routines is admirable now, and you could pour a lot of energy into attempts to master a particular skill. The moon continues to wander through sentimental Leo and your freedom-loving 11th house of associations, friendship, and future visions. Still, it will simultaneously sextile go-getter Mars via your 7th house of one-on-one relationships in the process. Have you been looking for ways to connect with a love interest in your extended network? Others of you may even opt for strategizing, also you can approach a potential suitor without coming across as determined or headstrong, even though you're well aware of what you want. Keep in mind that your chatty planetary ruler, Mercury, will perfect its sextile to charming Venus today, making this offer all the more enticing. Invest in your professional curiosities. There is immense power at your fingertips as Venus in Aries sextiles Mercury in Gemini. As your mind swirls with new ideas about your career and potential achievements, you may realize that you have the power to follow through with such ideas. You already have the assets, resources, and investments to make progress with your ideas. This will then affect your career path since it could set you apart from other professionals. Investing in new opportunities could even lead you down a completely new career path. The moon's return to an intuitive and imaginative part of your chart today is good news for Venus, putting them at a friendly aspect just days after her return to your financial sector and just days before Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, is due to return next week. This is something that can fuel your financial instincts and imagination, and with perfect timing. Your optimistic and positive charisma are magnetic. A friend or family member may need your help fairly soon, so don't hesitate to offer them assistance, since you have the necessary resources. It will definitely make you feel good to help others, knowing that they will remember you for it. You have the backbone to take care of just about anything right now, even standing up to you-know-who. You're thinking 7 or 8 moves ahead of the competition, so you can't lose. Full of positive energy, it seems your efforts have paid off. Be sure you don't get too carried away, just because others find it difficult to refuse you. Try to remain modest. In spite of the attention and flattery you receive, other people also like to have some attention paid to them. Give recognition where it's due. Communication is one of the main tenets of good health. We are responsible for working out the physical and emotional energy we come into contact with. Often, we can tackle both at once. Long runs give us time to focus on specific issues and find solutions. Yoga classes help us get centered and look within to find patience when we thought we'd run out. Try to exercise with the awareness that your heart must be healthy in order to speak its truth. It can be challenging at times to accept the members of your family for who they are. On a day like this, filled with your own vibration, you may find it easier to gain a greater appreciation of the people you grew up with. No one person acts all good or all bad. You draw characteristics and qualities from many sources. Try to see the positive aspects on this family-oriented day. The more accepting you are, the more you will be accepted in your own uniqueness. There is something special in the air today when it comes to both matters of the heart and your relationships, with communication the common theme. As the moon makes its last visit to your relationship sector before the sun's return, it forms a friendly aspect to forces on the communication front, and this is making it easier to give your emotional responses and relationships a voice. This comes just as Mercury, the planet of communication, turns direct in a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart. 5 days after Venus, the planet of love returned to your romantic sector to begin what can be the most romantically charged weeks of any year. Mercury turns direct here today. This will take the brakes off, but not before benefiting from a chance to give your heart, the past and unsaid words, a voice. With the moon making its last visit to your relationship sector before the sun returns, this is something your relationships can benefit from as well. Our eyes in the sky. There's a lot going on, but everyone will be breathing that familiar collective universal sigh today as communications guru Mercury goes direct after spending the last few weeks in a frustrating retrograde cycle. And its pairing with the slow-paced, detail-driven bull should give you lots of time to get to work on correcting errors, fixing mistakes, and clearing up the general confusion that was caused by this latest chaotic Mercury retrograde cycle. Things on your lengthy to-do list for the day. 1. Go back over important emails, DMs, and texts you sent recently to make sure they were coherent and expressed what you wanted them to. Make adjustments and send new communications if necessary. 2. Double-check all details and, if necessary, rebook flights, hotel and/or rental car for a vacation that got cancelled or delayed. 3. Fix any tech-related items that malfunctioned or broke. 4. Go over financial statements looking for errors. Keeping good track of your money matters more now than ever. On the other hand, if you plan to establish yourself in a clear and well-defined relationship, now is the time or never. The sky boosts your enthusiasm and your joie de vivre by stimulating your desires and projecting you into the future. However, do not hesitate to withdraw from the game to preserve your energy capital and face a fairly exhausting end to the day. In the pre-dawn hours, the Leo moon squares off with Venus in Taurus, making us self-indulgent. This transit can provoke difficulties within our relationships because we are thinking only of ourselves and not of our partners or friends. This may be due to overconfidence, as we may be assuming that others' needs parallel our own. Or, paradoxically, it might be due to a lack of confidence, as our unmet desire for affection stimulates insecurities. At its worst, this influence causes us to think of others as our property. When we feel entitled, we make inappropriate demands of those we care for. After noon, the Gemini sun forms a square with Juno in Pisces, complicating contractual relationships. Ego conflicts will be more apparent under this influence. However, because this connection is occurring in mutable signs, more subtle manipulation tactics are likely to be at work. Juno in Pisces means commitment without boundaries. In our bonded relationships, we now believe we are functioning as a unit, and what's good for one person must be good for the other. Our sense of compassion is also boosted, causing us to overlook red flags in the name of devotion. However, the Gemini sun encourages us to look at our unions from various perspectives, to break through deception and collect new evidence regarding our engagements. Even if this aspect does not trigger fights or disputes, an internal storm is brewing, as we consider how we may be relinquishing our individuality through spiritual or emotional bypassing.